everybody, Jason Burmis here. And if it wasn't bad enough that we had, 18-year-old TikTokers up at the White House podium, okay, if that wasn't weird enough for clout seeking and that being the new fame, sorry, I see this little thing here, it's killing me. I'm seeing it on my shirt. I didn't see it before. Oh, see, there's it's Hollywood Burmis right here. He had to wipe that little thing off. He couldn't take it. I mean, you know what? I need to get full makeup done. We need to take 2 on this one. What do we got on the food tray? I need an espresso now. I'm kidding. I'm kidding around. But what's not funny to me is the fact that right now the big push is that if you want to be a star, if you want to be on set, you need the boop, boop, boopity boop. All right? So we already live in this society where we worship celebritard culture and have for a very, very long time. And they made it kind of into a game show, right? I remember the days of American Idol, and now they've kind of reversed it. You still have those kind of shows like America's Got Talent, etc. But now the new game show is where they recycle their own stars under a mask, and then they promote other products. And people are captivated by this still. Hook, line, and sinker. The reality shows, the Bachelor type stuff, the dating type stuff, the MTV stuff, it's huge, huge, huge. All of that's Hollyweird, all right? And now, through trying to work you through every single angle, you're in school, you got to take it, right? You got to do it. You don't have a choice. They're coming for the kids. Trust me, the kids. In fact, Biden was babbling tonight with Don Lemon. I'm going to show you a clip. That's almost unbelievable, right? So this is another way to try to influence you in your life and to try to strong arm those people. And I'd say this. There are still people in the entertainment industry that have brains in their head, all right? And there are also people probably powerful enough that they could say they went and got it and, get somebody to lie. People lie. People are fallible. That's really one of the big reasons they've had these mass centers where everything's in an open area and nothing's behind a curtain and everybody watches everybody else, because they don't want those scenarios. And so the next big thing is that if you want to be on Hollywood set, guess what? You got to take it. You got to take it. And as always, we have to be really careful because we are on the YouTube today. And we all know the YouTube likes to censor, but we love you for coming over. Thumbs the video up, subscribe, and share. Not only 15 thumbs up, less than 100 people watching. Who needs 60,000 plus subscribers when the algorithm loves you so much? We did our Alex Jones interview today. The full interview is over on the Rockfin exclusively. Please consider following us there. Make the free account. You don't even need to make a free account anymore to watch the full thing. There it is. But we're trying to get to 30,000 and then really be the first channel to 50,000. But Jones says he'll come over to Rockfin. So I'm hoping we're going to bring AJ over to Rockfin. And I know we got into it a little bit at the end. Some people thought it was funny. He was kind of tired. I was looking for a more honed in AJ so we could really trample down on the agenda. He did do 4 hours of radio just before I watched him do that last hour. And I was like, damn, he looks tired. But I'm going to really try to get him to come on and then get him to come over because, they're not censoring us over here. And I want to thank Odyssey for backing up my entire YouTube channel. Very good of them as well. And remind everybody to watch all my documentary films, Loose Change Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture. So, let's do it. Let's watch this clip. Lights, camera, COVID.
Hi, Glenn. Hi, Lou. Lights, camera, COVID. It's what every Hollywood producer has to take into consideration anytime they start up a production, whether that's on a soundstage or a movie set. Now, the unions that represent the actors and the crews have been working with the studio executives for the better part of the last few weeks, trying to come to terms with what makes sense moving forward in keeping these productions up and running, but also keeping everyone safe. The unions that we're talking about.
Is everybody in danger? Again, all these are just like Bernaysian, dystopian slogans at this point. Safe and effective, right? Well, the pandemic of the unvaccinated is the new thing. 12 people, 65% of the misinformation. They're slogans. You know, alone together. Alone together. I mean, when someone says to you, alone together, I mean, social distancing was one I wasn't a huge fan of, ever. I quite frankly, if I never heard it again, it'd be the greatest thing in my life. Probably be one of those little things in life that's just like, Just saying. So, I mean, let's keep everybody safe. Lights, camera, COVID.
Include SAG-AFTRA, the DGA, IATSE, and the Teamsters, as well as the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. They've been talking to studio heads for weeks, going back and forth on what exactly needs to be done and what rules and protocols need to be put into place. And when they started these negotiations, they were looking to try to loosen up on some of the restrictions that have been in place since they last reached an agreement of September of last year. But since then, at least here in Los Angeles County, there have been sharp increases in the number of COVID cases, specifically because of the Delta variant. So they had to come to some.
And by the way, I heard some reports today on the Lambda variant. Okay, I just want to point that out there. That's in the news. We got to be real careful on what I say here because we're on YouTube. I'm just reporting what they're reporting, and you just heard basically every single one of these unions. And it's not just the Hollywood stars that work in Hollywood, guys. Hate to tell you, you got your cameramen, you got your agents, you got your assistant directors, you got your DPs, you got interns running around, you got your extras, you got wardrobe, you got makeup, right? It's a big industry. Hollywood just doesn't come together out of nowhere. I have two very good friends within my fraternal order of Iota Tau Kappa that work pretty heavily in the industry. I'm probably going to reach out to them sometime this week and get the skinny on what's going on the inside.
Some sort of agreement and conclusion. Basically, there's no one size fits all. It will be a case-by-case decision, but certain producers in certain circumstances can enforce their actors and those who work on their crew to have a vaccination before reporting to work. Now, again, there was no one size fits all, and it's not clear on exactly how everything would be enforced, but they'll be looking at things like the frequency of testing and also meal times and various things that go into the Hollywood production.
Now, here again, you talk about frequency of testing even after the fact. Remember, all those Democrats on that plane supposedly were vaccinated, every single one of them, and some of them turned up positive. We saw the same thing in the Yankees organization. I mean, there's a multitude of those cases that are already out there, just pointing it out.
Here, too, is a joint statement, or at least part of it, that was released today. It says, quote, "The COVID-19 safety agreement is the outcome of an unprecedented coordination and solidarity between the unions and collaboration with employers to develop science-based protocols that minimize the risk of COVID-19 virus transmission."
When they say science-based, does that mean Fauci science? I'm just wondering. Does that mean Fauci science? Maybe we should make that into like one word. What would we do with that? We can't go, science ouchie, right? Science ouchie. No, I don't like that. Faucians? We call it Faucians, maybe?
in the industry's unique work environments. And those work environments certainly are unique. Of course, actors cannot appear on screen with masks if they're trying to do a scene. And productions have shut down, including Bridgerton. Season 2 was shooting in the UK just this last week. They had to halt production completely. Also, the HBO production that is the prequel to Game of Thrones also had to cease production. And we've seen this time and time again, even on Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible. That set had to close down a couple of times because of COVID outbreaks. So again, the deal appears to be in place. It will be in place until the end of September, and that's when they say that the unions will get together again with the studio bosses to try to determine what's next moving forward, because things, as you know, when it comes to COVID, keep changing.
They sure do, Molly Muskrat. Thank you so much for that just really important piece of reporting. I mean, we live in like the weirdest times. You know what's not shutting down? Iowa. Not at all. Now, to really try to hone in on the fact that these people are not done, that the propaganda is just going to march right on. March, whatever they say. I want to reiterate, we have a zombie puppet that can barely speak his talking points being propped up by the entire establishment media. And they're acting like this is not a senile old man. Well, folks, we're going to play this clip. But first I want to read what I posted with this clip, because this just shows how far gone we really are. I have joked that Biden couldn't run a Wendy's as a shift manager, let alone the country at this point. But in actuality, it is much worse. He couldn't fill a 4-hour shift at the register. And let's be honest, that's being generous. If he were alone, unattended, in line as a customer for more than, say, 3 minutes, he may even forget where he is. That's the truth. Now, I love how I get a warning. I'm not even talking about the information. And let's be honest, if you think that Joe is giving a coherent message here, Facebook, what message is Joe giving? Exactly. I'll tell you the message. I'm in late stage dementia. Okay? That's the message.
That's underway, just like the other question that's illogical. And I've heard you speak about it because I'm not being solicitous, but you're always straight up about what you're doing. And the question is whether or not we should be in a position where you are, why can't the experts say, we know that this virus is in fact it's going to be, or excuse me, we know why all the drugs approved are not temporarily approved but permanently approved. Yeah. That's underway too. I expect that to occur quickly.
Well, that means you mean for the FDA?
For the FDA.
Yeah. Let's cancel Hulk Hogan, the best of the WWE and the NWO there. But very coherent message, obviously. The man can't speak. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Guys, the links are down below to know how to support me. The GoFundMe's down there. But really, if you make a premium membership over at Rockfin, you get everybody's premium stuff. For $100 now, $99.99, you get the whole year. And is that not going to be worth it if we bring AJ and the InfoWars crew over to Rockfin? I think that'll be a big get. A lot of cool things coming up with Rockfin. There's going to be an easier way for everybody to buy Ray. People are going to be able to tip directly in Ray. We're going to build an infrastructure through blockchain that empowers voices that challenge narratives instead of enslaving minds with lies and hate. Guys, I absolutely love you. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the flip side.